Episode 3.
Episode 3. Welcome back to I've Got Something to Tell You. Yeah.
Also, I'd like to point out this is the first time that we're recording at night.
Oh gosh, I didn't think about that.
I know. And I also have my salt lamp on. I turned that on specifically for you.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
If you guys don't recall in episode 1, well, did I talk about it in episode 1 when like my dogs? Yes, I think I did. That I like salt lamps for the ambiance and the look and all of that, but
they're very pretty.
Somebody once told me that like one night I was home alone and my dog like stood up like full like aggressive and was like staring at my salt lamp that I have on my like bookshelf on the wall. And then somebody told me that spirits can get like
I think it was Norman.
I think it was Norman. Yeah. And like not trapped but attached like to them.
Maybe they're drawn to it. But actually I was thinking of that today and I was like, it's weird because doesn't like salt like keep them away? Or it traps them. So what if it draws them in and then it traps them in there? So it's just like full of spirits.
Yeah, it's like what are those things like the fly trappers or whatever? They're fly zappers. It's like they're trapped in it. Yeah, they're drawn to the light.
Then they get stuck.
And then it's gotcha.
You just see faces in there.
Don't stop.
Wait, do you still turn on your salt lamp?
No, because my dog Fury likes to chew things, and the salt lamp had a cord that was because it's on a shelf or like a bookshelf, and the cord was going to the ground, and then I came home one day and Fury had chewed the cord, so it doesn't even work. So
I feel like Fury was like, my mom's afraid of this, I'm gonna take care of
it. Aw, she was attempting to help.
She was.
Okay.
The salt lamp is the enemy. Oh my god, the spikes on the audio.
Your laughs.
I know. They're back. It's Friday night and we're sipping rosé. Ready for some scary stories.
Yeah.
I feel like we're in a really good flow now, and I'm like excited about my stories when I'm putting them together. I'm like, this is gonna scare the shit out of Colleen. I'm just kidding.
I know I like signed up and am co-signing this podcast, but I feel like every single time I'm like, what am I in for?
I just feel like since you probably never heard a lot of these, I feel like that's why it's exciting. And I mean, vice versa. I've never heard the true crime ones either. Maybe a couple, but that's it.
And probably from me.
Yeah, I think they are from you. And I know I watched one documentary and I think you recommended it. And that was like the only one I watched. And it was probably like 5 or 6 years ago. And I don't remember that much of it.
That's like when I've made Kyle, my husband, listen to the podcast now and like give me notes and stuff. And then I also before this was like trying to like practice my story and telling it to him, and he's like, I already know this one. I'm like, no, I understand you know this one because we listened to it together. But now it's my turn to tell it.
As told by Tayler and Colleen.
Yeah.
Did he know the ghost ones too?
He knew the Winchester house. He didn't know was it Whaley or Wally? Whaley.
Wally house.
The wacky Wally house.
Isn't that like a robot? Like the Pixar?
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yes.
That one is slightly different than Whaley, where it's actually just filled with robots. But yeah. So what else is going on?
Honestly, I feel like not much with me. I've been watching a lot of, totally off topic of true crime and paranormal, but fun fact, Colleen and I really we like anything Bravo and Housewives, and I've been rewatching The Real Housewives of Potomac. And because I haven't finished it. I watched like the first few seasons, but I didn't remember it, and it is wild. So I feel like it's up there with Salt Lake City.
Are you in like the most recent season then, or are you starting from the very beginning?
I started from the very beginning because I like barely remembered what happened. So
I was gonna say I'm up to date on all of the Housewives. Well, except Atlanta. That's the only one I never like super got into, but like I'm actually going back and watching it because
Like, from the beginning, too.
Yeah, because I think I didn't know, like, the dynamic, so it was, like, hard to get into, you know what I mean?
Yeah, their backstories.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's so much drama.
But I'm caught up on, like, the most recent season of Potomac, and it is wild. Like, I'm over these Beverly Hills ones where, like, they're fighting over, like, the most ridiculous things. Like,
yeah,
there's, like, yeah, you just have to watch it. But, like, this girl, Mia, she came in last season, I want to say. And, like, this season, like, there's, like, she had a lot of drama last season with, like, family and stuff. But now there's, like, DNA tests and stuff that are happening. So I'm excited.
Rich people stuff. It's just entertaining to watch it because they're so ridiculous.
So ridiculous. Like, well, and it's just, some of it's really dark, too. So, like, I do feel bad for them. Like, but, like, you sign up for, it's a reality TV. Yeah.
You see it all.
Yeah.
You see, like, the craziness of, like, how they live, because it's all, like, obviously rich housewives, and then, but then everyone has their stuff, too, so you see, like, the dark stuff.
Yeah.
So we were talking housewives. What have you been up to?
Well, I just started my new job.
Yeah.
But okay, so sorry, he is my husband, so I'm going to talk about him a lot. I apologize in advance. Kyle requested that I actually tell the story of my first appearance on a podcast. Because if you remember, I've been on one before.
Yeah.
And I haven't talked about it. Well, I haven't talked about it because it's kind of embarrassing. Well, it's actually really embarrassing. But so I've talked about how I'm a big fan of My Favorite Murder. But on their, like, podcast network, they also have different podcasts, and one of them is That's Messed Up, an SVU podcast. And so it's hosted by these two hilarious women, and they do, like, a recap of an SVU episode, and then they tell the true crime that it's based off of, and it's really, really good. But so I saw that one of the hosts, she's a stand-up comedian, and she was doing a show here in Phoenix. Should we say where we live?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because we're going to do hometown stories, too. So.
Okay, true. Yeah.
Okay. We don't have to give them our address.
Well, yeah. So she did a show here in Phoenix, and me and my husband went, and we had just gotten engaged, and she comes out after the show, and she's just, like, in the bar area, and Kyle goes, like, go up to her, go say something to her, and I am so awkward, and, like, so, like, I am so excited to meet her, like, I can't get words out, like, and I'm like, we just got engaged, like, and she's like, okay, who are you? Like,
you start blurting out.
Yeah, like, words just, like, I just started spewing information at her, and, like, was so excited to meet her, and she was so kind, and, like, clearly knew I was an awkward person, and so I'm so, like, again, over the top that she, like, I'm listening to the podcast maybe a few days later, and she talks about meeting me because of how, like...
Wait, I didn't know she talked about you.
She talked about...
I do remember you telling me meeting her and, like, the encounter, kind of. What did she say?
She said something to the, like, she was like, I met fans, and, like, I was at the show in Phoenix, and, like, you know, did, like, whatever shows, and, like, all this stuff. And then she goes, and I met this one girl who was, like, she's like, I've never felt so important. Like, and she's like, she was there with her fiance, they just got engaged, and, like, but she was like, she made me feel like I was Michael Jackson, like, and I'm like, amazing, like, I was that person, like, I knew it. I always say I don't know how I'm going to react to things, like, it's going to be a surprise for all of us, like, how I'm going to react to something, but I knew what, like, that was going to be, and it was going to be, like, me being very excited, like, I have to get all these things out to you, because, like, I listen to you every day, like, we're best friends.
Yeah.
But I don't think she felt the same.
Wait, okay, because we went to one of their shows, right? Didn't you also run into them before that show? Because I was like, I remember you got there before me, and I was, like, calling you, and I was just like,
and I hung up on you.
Yeah.
Because they were,
That's what it was. I was like, what happened? And
so,
she's like, yeah, you tell it.
No. This is what my sister told me not to do, is, talk over
No.
But so then Kyle and I've been, so that was just her doing a stand-up comedy show, and then they do live podcasts, and I've been to one of the live recordings with Kyle, and we met them afterwards, and I mean, I heard girls in the back, like behind me, being like, I wonder if the like awkward person is here, like from the, because
oh my god, you didn't tell me that.
And I was like, that's me. Like, they're like, do you remember when they talked about the girl from Phoenix? I'm like, me. It was me. Like,
you're like, that would be me.
Like, I should have been in the meet and greet line as like a local celebrity for that. No, sorry, I'm not. Okay, so I'm in line, and I hear people talk, like, and my husband can hear them talking too. Like, he's just like laughing, like, this is her. And so then we go up and we meet them, and he just immediately tells them, like, she was the weird one that you guys talked about on the podcast. And they were like, we remember you, and they're like,
oh my gosh.
And then they're like, well, we're going to talk about you again, which they didn't, thank God. I think they had been partaking.
Yeah.
And which is great.
I totally would too.
Yeah. But Kyle bought me like all of the swag, and they said he was a very good husband for doing that.
That's funny. I didn't know that part. Like, I didn't know you saw them again, and then he brought it up.
Yeah, like, just threw me right under the bus. And then, okay, so now, the third time I've seen them, I sound like a stalker. I like
their favorites.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like going to a concert. You go to your favorite bands every time they come.
Yeah. So, okay, and so then I get Tayler to come with me to one of their other live podcasts again here in Phoenix, and I'm on the phone with her, like, she's like, I just got here, where are you? And then I just hang up on her because both of the hosts had just arrived, like, we're getting out of their Uber, and I was like, can I take a picture with you guys?
Wait, sorry, because, like, I didn't know the second encounter you had with them, so it actually does kind of sound like you're a stalker.
Yeah, like, I'm just waiting out there for them.
They're like, okay, this is getting a little weird. No, I'm just kidding.
Maybe we cut some of this so I don't sound like a total psychopath.
That's so funny. Honestly, probably really relatable. Let's be real.
I mean, I hope so.
I mean, if I saw, like, somebody that I really liked, like, from a band or a podcast or something, I'd be like, hi.
Yeah, I promise I'm not. Yeah, I promise I'm not just like waiting outside.
She's not crazy, guys. Okay.
Thank you. Because it does make me sad. So now the fourth time no, I'm just kidding.
So then
when I was waiting in their hotel room later, like, I was just kidding.
Hilarious. When we were saying I'm not crazy, it instantly gave me, because I've also, like, recently, not to keep bringing up Bravo, sorry, I recently started rewatching VPR again.
Oh.
And it just got a flashback of Sheena being like, I'm not crazy, I'm not boy crazy. She says it like 20 times, and they do a montage.
He's my best friend.
Yeah.
He's my best friend.
Her best friends.
Who is the, Rob, when they do the, like...
Rob and Adam,
where
the best friends.
Yeah.
So stupid.
I always like when they do, like, this song where she's like, Rob. Oh,
yeah. The symphony.
Yeah. Oh, God.
Okay, all of our Bravo talk. Hopefully.
Okay.
People didn't click out already.
I know. They're like, well, move on. What we can say, just skip 10 minutes in and
skip 10 minutes in.
17 minutes in.
Oh, damn. Well, we had to cut a little bit.
We had to yell at Seb.
Yeah, we had to, like, do a few things, but no.
Okay, maybe we should get into stuff we've got to tell each other.
You are right. So, my story today is, so we live in Arizona, which I think we've already established.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Colleen. And I'm actually going to tell a story about a small town in Arizona named Jerome.
Exciting!
Yeah.
Well, exciting now, probably scary later.
Scary later when you're going to sleep.
Yeah.
So I I mean, I've been to Jerome a few times, but I actually went to Jerome on my 30th birthday, I think, or 32nd or something like that, to go ghost hunting. I made Seth drive me there. And it was like, we did the ghost hunting, and then we left at the end of the night and drove back in the pitch black. And
oh my god.
if you've been to Jerome, it's like, Switchback Mountains. It's pretty scary driving up there because, I mean, I'll get into it, but it's a mining town, and so there's a lot of, like, explosives and stuff, and the town is slowly sliding down. Like, I think they said it moves, like, 1/8 of an inch every month. And things that were in one spot, like, when it was built, are, like, 200 yards away now.
What?
It's actually called the Sliding Jail. I didn't write about this, but anyway.
It's Jeroming.
It's Jeroming. It's roaming around. Yeah. It's Jeroming around. Love that.
Thank you.
Good one. Okay, so getting into it. Jerome, Arizona, once a thriving copper mining town with a reputation as the wickedest city in the West, is now a small artist and tourist community of 400 residents known for its rowdy past, including mining accidents, gunfights, and opium overdoses. The town is said to be haunted by lingering ghosts tied to its turbulent history.
Opium overdoses?
Yes. So I'm not going to go over all of Jerome's history because there is a lot. And, like, that entire town is haunted. Like, it's just, like, there were so many deaths, so many murders, like, it was just crazy. So, I'm going to cover a few different areas. And when I read this, you'll know why.
Okay.
But just throwing it out there. If you want to go to a haunted town, go to Jerome.
It's wild with ghosts.
Yes. Okay. So, one of the many disturbing things I learned from Jerome is that all of the cement is made of human remains. Most of the people who died were cremated in blast furnaces, and then their ashes were dumped into slag piles, which were used to make the sidewalks. And also, if you go there in the center of the town, there's these big cement stairs, and those are...
Yuck.
It is disgusting.
Like, can you see bodies in the cement?
No. So, they're cremated.
Oh, duh, you said that.
You just see it's like someone's face, like in the...
Like, why is this... Nobody has a problem with it?
They're okay with this? I guess they just accumulated to the... Or acclimated to the, their haunted history. The town center is known for several unexplained happenings. Before the building was built, in its place were what referred to as cribs, but they looked like shacks, and they were used by sex workers. In one of these shacks, one of the women were stabbed to death by a miner, and it is said that she is seen in the area momentarily before heading towards the hotel and vanishing. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What was her name?
I don't know. It just said a woman when I was researching it.
But it was something pretty.
Yeah. There was tons of, like, sex workers and that type of stuff going on, and that part was really sad to me. Mm-hmm. Like, yeah. But I don't get too much into that just because, I don't know, it was a little disturbing and involved some children too, so, yeah. So I'm just going through haunted areas. So that was the community center, which is known for that. And then the second one, the Mile High Inn, which was originally built in 1899, as the Klingsdale building has a fascinating and haunted history. Once the site of Madame Jenny Banter's successful bordello, the building catered to...
What's a bordello?
Huh?
What's a bordello?
I think it's like a brothel, but maybe I should fact check myself really quick. It sounds like one. I guess she's like Madame.
Yeah. I mean, I assumed, but I didn't know.
No, that's a good question. Let me actually look that up.
You're like, it's like a Chili's.
It's... You just go there to chill and eat, like, cheese fries or something. Yeah. What is a bordello? Okay, yes. I was correct.
Bro.
No problem.
Okay.
That was a good question, though.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm full of them.
And I guess if we got to the next sentence, it says the building catered to numerous clients until prostitution was pushed off Main Street, creating Husband's Alley.
So wait for the story.
Yes.
Okay. Sorry.
You're good. Jenny, one of Northern Arizona's wealthiest women, reportedly met a tragic end at the hands of a client after relocating her business. Over the years, the building transitioned into a hardware store, apartments, and eventually the charming 8-room Victorian-style inn it is today. The inn is said to be haunted by Jenny herself, who is often seen in the lariat and lace room or making her presence known in the kitchen by moving objects, turning on radios, and even rotating ceiling fans. And also, a cat, thought to be Jenny's pet, has been seen walking the hall. A ghost cat. Not a real cat. But a ghost cat has been seen walking the halls, leaving paw prints on beds, and brushing up against guests. And they also mention hearing the meow and the sharpening of the claws, which is like kind of creepy.
Yeah, I would like everything up.
They're like, ching!
Yeah.
I know it's not visual, but they're like...
She did the
dive to the throat.
Yeah.
Anyway. Other spirits include an older gentleman, seen in vintage work clothes near windows, and known to rearrange items in the pillow talk and kiss and tell rooms.
Oh, kiss and tell.
I know.
For some reason, that's innocent.
I know, like kind of old-fashioned
Yeah.
almost. Yeah. And a younger grumpy man who appears as a shadowy figure and startles guests with the cold drafts and disapproving looks.
It was Whaley in the
Yeah,
last...
Thomas Whaley.
Yeah. This is Tommy. Just...
He might be moving over to Arizona.
Yeah.
With those looks.
If this guy has a cigar, then...
Yeah. Guests have reported strange occurrences like furniture moving, faucets turning on and off, and locked doors opening by themselves. The most active area is the restaurant and kitchen, where visitors hear whistling, singing, and witness objects like glasses and signs moving. Despite its eerie happenings, the inn offers visitors a cozy historic stay in the heart of Jerome, complete with a restaurant and bar.
Cool.
Fun fact. Okay, and now, moving on to the Jerome Grand Hotel. Located on Cleopatra Hill, above downtown Jerome, was originally built in 1927 as the United Verde Hospital by the United Verde Copper Company. Designed to serve the town's 15,000 residents at the time, the hospital was a state-of-the-art fireproof structure capable of withstanding massive mining blasts that damaged other buildings. As the highest structure in the Verde Valley and the last major building constructed in Jerome, the 30,000 square foot hospital was an engineering marvel built on a steep 50-degree slope.
Is it sliding down the slope too? Or is it just the whole town move as like one or things?
That's why I don't know if I wrote that in here, but I thought I read somewhere that one isn't. Or maybe it's just because it's fireproof, it's not affected by the blows of the mining. So, makes sense. Yeah. That might be in here though, so we'll see.
It's in the next sentence.
It might be. I know, like earlier. It operated from 1930 to 1950 as a hospital where about 9,000 patients were said to pass away, and then was abandoned for 44 years, later becoming the hotel in 1996.
They don't sound like they were a good hospital.
Yeah, if that many people were dying, they're like, well. There was also, I couldn't find this online, but obviously I did the ghost tour. And so different parts of the hospital, like I think the dining room was the psychiatric ward or something, but then there was like this like chute in there, and that's where they just throw bodies down and it go down to the furnace and just immediately yeah. Ugh, got gross.
I need to remember to vocally react and not just make faces at you the entire Not rated. Yeah. Okay.
Almost from the beginning, the building has had a history of hauntings. Perhaps because of the many people who died there or the emotional trauma suffered by many housed in its asylum. As a result, it's said to be one of the most haunted buildings in Arizona, with several strange phenomena occurring over the decades.
Like what?
Get ready.
Oh. Let me tell you.
Let's go. Shortly after the hospital opened, both patients and staff began to tell stories of hearing people talking, coughing, moaning, and cries of distress coming from empty rooms. Some believe they might have possibly have been coming from some of the many lingering spirits who had died in that deathly flu epidemic of 1917. Though the hospital wasn't even built at that time, perhaps these souls found the building, wishing that it had been there.
Oh.
I know. They're like, the hospital will
This
be here
is
one day.
yeah. Well, and this wasn't a good hospital either. So like,
You didn't want to be there.
yeah.
You're gonna die.
Which is even sadder.
Yeah.
Like we found hospital. It's not good.
So it's like the land was haunted, and then it just kept getting worse from there.
Oh,
and the buildings were haunted.
Yeah.
One spirit that has lurked in the building for many years is that of an old bearded miner. Miner. I was like, I read miner like M-I-N-O-R. I was like, what?
Like
and it's like, no, a miner from the mining. His appearance was first reported by a hospital patient who reported seeing a bearded man gliding down the hall, turning on all the lights on his way. Imagine.
No, I will not imagine.
Imagine him flying off the lights.
Stop!
The flight's just going on.
I hate that.
Synchronized.
Sorry. Ew, that was probably the noise he was making.
He's like, nailed it. Another nurse during the building's hospital reign reported having seen a bearded man standing at the very end of a hallway. However, when she approached him, the man mysteriously vanished. And today, the hotel guests, because this was when it was a hospital, and now the hotel guests continue to say they see a bearded man.
This is the worst one you've told me so far. I'm gonna. It just gets worse. Oh god.
The third floor, which was previously the operating room, is where a lot of the deaths occurred. It's said from the hotel management and visitors of the hotel that they can hear a hospital gurney being wheeled across the floor, usually around 3 a.m. And they also said that they replaced the carpet like multiple times to see if like that's what was causing it, and they still hear it.
My jaw is
shocked.
like on.
She's not even looking this way.
I can't look.
She cannot. So
the words are coming from that computer, so that computer is like
looking at the computer makes it worse.
Yeah.
Room 32. A former hospital guest room with a balcony and possibly 2 suicides. One former miner confined to a wheelchair climbed over the balcony to his death, and a businessman shot himself in there. This room receives the most feedback from visitors.
When you said climbed over the balcony, I was like, how do you, like, that...
It's
like jumping off
like
of
a
it,
lot
but
of
you
work.
climbed over it to jump up. Get it now.
Because he was confined to a wheelchair. Yeah.
Wait, I missed that part.
Like, that's why.
Oh my god.
No, he was confined to a wheelchair and he climbed over the balcony to his death. It's okay. He haunts the room still. He's very close by. He's like an hour and a half away.
Stop.
So if he's offended, he will come for you. Colleen felt bad because she didn't hear the wheelchair. Don't worry about it.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
Okay. There's more where that came from. Just kidding. But not really. The phenomena described in the historic hotel includes all manner of strange occurrences, including the sounds of phantom footsteps going up and down the stairs and hallways, doors that open and close on their own accord, objects that move of their own will, and electrical appliances that turn on and off by themselves. Many of these bizarre happenings occur before the housekeeping staff, who have seemingly become favorite targets, sometimes hearing their names being called out by phantom voices. However, they say that the ghosts are accommodating enough as when they ask them to stop, it does, at least for a few days. They're like, okay, we'll give you a little break.
Yeah. That's polite.
Yeah, like I wonder where they go for a few days, if they're just like standing by and like checking it out.
They're like checking their time. You guys got 3 more hours and then we're
coming up with new material.
Yeah.
They're like, what should we move next?
What direction should we take this haunting?
Throwing objects, closing doors, calling their names, we'll see.
Yeah.
The hotel lobby is an active place for many spirits. Here, the lobby doors have often been seen opening and closing by themselves, like someone is arriving or leaving. Chairs have been rearranged while desk clerks turn their backs. Items have flown off the shelves in the gift shop, as well as from the walls in the lobby. And the lobby desk has also received several phone calls from empty rooms. So it comes as to no surprise when the line is picked up and that no one is heard on the other end. And then I have a quote from the management. He said, I once received a phone call at the front desk from an unoccupied room and heard a lady say something, but it was inaudible. I called back and there was no answer. I walked up there and the room was vacant.
So now
she can't wrap her mind.
they could use the phone.
They can make phone calls. That is...
Hate that.
Yeah, that is scary. I didn't really think about that. They're like, I know how to operate this.
Ew.
They're like, we didn't have this on my time.
Yeah,
many other people use it.
Wait till they get a laptop in there and they start sending emails.
Start posting on their social media. Taking selfies.
Just throwing a chair over here.
Okay, in this story, you're gonna love this one.
Cool.
Near the old 1926 elevator, which is still operational, a finely dressed elderly woman in white has been seen standing. But that's not the most scary thing about the elevator. The hotel's most famous ghost is that of a man named Claude Harvey, who was a hospital maintenance man in 1935. Harvey, who was well known in Jerome, was more familiar called Scotty by the townsfolk, shocked to hear about his death at the hospital. When Harvey's body was found pinned under the elevator in the basement, his death was ruled an accident. Strangely, though, the inquest into his death determined that the elevator did not kill him, which is so weird. Yeah. Some said perhaps he jumped to his death, but the vast majority suspecting instead that the man was murdered and his body dumped at the bottom of the elevator shaft.
I think so too.
Yeah. Who would kill Scotty, though? So rude.
Wait, his name is Harvey, but he went by Scotty?
His name's Claude Harvey, but he went by Scotty. I don't know. Don't know where that nickname came from.
Okay.
The elevator was found to have been in perfect working order, and Harvey was an experienced maintenance man. Strange that he was found beneath the elevator, with his neck broken and the only other mark on his body a small scrape behind the ear. Rumors abounded with a number of theories and potential suspects, but the cause of death remained officially an accident. Almost immediately after his death, however, strange occurrences began in the building, especially in and around the elevator. Lights in the elevator shaft have been seen, and the sound of the creaking elevator has long been heard, even when the building was vacant, no power was on, and even yet today when it's unused. Yeah. I would be afraid to use that elevator.
Why do they sell it at work? It's so old. I don't know. Let's stop using it.
Stop using it, because he's probably in there messing with it.
Yeah.
And just imagine, like, being in an elevator and, like, what if, like, the lights go off? Or, like, what if you see someone in there? What if it stops?
Stop it. Stop it right now.
So, yeah, very scary. Others have claimed to see the figure of a shadowy man in the basement, on the stairs, or the elevator.
I just want to know.
Yeah.
I know you were going to say, what if it stops and then the ghost is in there and then you're stuck in there with it?
Yeah, that's exactly what I was imagining.
I knew.
Scary.
Sorry, I cut Tayler off.
Also, I mean, I haven't gone into this building, but I've been in, like, a really old hotel before in, I can't remember now if it was California or Flagstaff, because I've been in, like, 2. And I do remember, like, their elevators were tiny back in the day. Like, really small. So I'm wondering if that's how this one was, too. Because if it is, that makes it 10 times more scary, and you'd be, like, claustrophobic. Like, imagine. That'd be
Because it's, like, yeah, like, and then you're also really close to the ghost.
Yeah. You're, like, face to face.
Awkward. Cool.
Okay, yes. The shadowy man in the basement. He's been seen on the stairs and near the elevator. The man has been described as appearing furious. Others have felt an angry presence. Many speculate that Harvey has unfinished business here on Earth, which, of course, if he was murdered, and not resting until his murder has been implicated. Though his spirit is said to make those who he encounters uncomfortable, Harvey has never hurt anyone.
Well, he's making me uncomfortable.
Other spirits are also said to roam throughout the hotel, attributed to several tragic events in the building, including a man in a wheelchair. Oh, that's the one I already talked about. Who fell from the balcony, climbed the shooting, and I didn't find the story on this, but a caretaker hung himself.
Oh.
Yeah. And guests and staff continue to report being pushed in the hallways, doors slamming shut by themselves, and the sounds of ghostly cries and photographs that persistently develop with ghostly hazes and numerous orbs. Your favorite word?
I hate orbs. Do you think you... Oh my god, I'm not even joking. I swear, I looked out your window and I saw something.
An orb?
I don't... No, definitely not one. But I think it was just, like, the light reflecting off it.
It's probably the reflection.
It just scared me so bad.
I didn't even realize it was open, so my window's open and it's pitch black outside. Colleen's afraid. I'll close it before you start your story.
Okay, thank you. I was gonna ask, do you think people who work in haunted places do you think they get paid more?
I don't know. That's a good question. Oh, because you think it's dangerous or something?
Yeah.
Maybe. Like, they're, like, historians, too. Which is, like, pretty cool. It's just fun fact. I remember him saying that. I was like, I never thought of that. But it, like, makes sense because they talk about the history and stuff. I don't know if they get paid more.
I think so. It's... Yeah. Because dumb question.
What?
I don't know if I should.
No, ask it.
You know how, like, I don't remember if, like, real estate agents have to disclose it, but, like, I think if you ask, they have to tell you if, like...
I think they have to tell you, because I remember, when we were looking for the condo, because I don't know why, I was just like, I don't want to move, I don't want it to be so permanent, because when you buy a place, it's so permanent. You have to be there for a while. It's not like you're renting. And I was just like, I wonder if, like, you can ask that question. And I knew my realtor, so I did ask, but I mean, there were no deaths in any of them, so. As far as she knew.
That's true.
Yeah.
But, like, can you charge... Well, maybe you charge less for a house.
I think you would charge less.
Yeah, that's...
Because I know there's been some stories of, like... Oh my gosh, I wish I could remember which one. But there was, like, a haunted house or something. I think she was trying to sell it. And nobody would buy it. Like, for a super low price.
Yeah.
I need to find out.
But then it's, like, places like this, like... Because you said it's an inn now?
Yeah, this is a huge hotel.
Okay.
Like, it's, because it used to be, like, a big hospital, so it's pretty gigantic.
But, like, I feel like people pay money to go to stay at haunted places, so it's probably pretty pricey.
So, Jerome, actually, they're huge on Halloween, and it's impossible. Like, you have to book it a year in advance, and I tried to, and I still couldn't get a room.
Oh my god.
Yeah, like, I think it would be really cool. It probably kind of scary, but, I mean, I'd want to experience it.
She said kind of scary.
Kind of scary. Let's be real. I would probably be, like, not even sleeping.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's Halloween. You're probably having some drinks. It'd be fine.
Yeah.
It'd be fine. So are you down to go to...
Absolutely. No. The answer is no.
Fine.
Should have asked me before you told me that story.
You wouldn't even go ghost hunting. You're like, no.
Yeah.
I'd still think one day we should. I think it would be so funny to see you.
I love for you to think it.
It would be so fun. Maybe it'll be like me with the Winchester house. I'll take you somewhere you don't know is haunted.
I'm Googling literally any place that we go to together moving forward. I'm gonna pull one over on me. I will say that and I don't know. Maybe I should have told this story because I sound dumb when I tell it.
Why? Tell it.
I forget what movie it was, but I was told it was like a romantic comedy or something, and we go to watch it, and it was terrifying, and I walked out of the movie, and and as I'm like leaving, somebody, like one of the employees stopped me, and he's like, oh, the bathroom's like that way, and I'm like, oh no, I'm leaving. And
You're
he's
like, no, I'm taking it.
Yeah, like, and he was like, oh, why are you leaving? You know, I forget why he asked me. He asked me why I was leaving, and I was like, do you know what that is in there?
Like, this is not a romantic comedy.
Yeah. And he told me you can get a refund if you don't like the movie, which like,
really?
Yeah, like, I mean, don't take advantage of that by any means, because like that's a crappy thing to do, but they did, because I'd only stayed for like,
I feel like that's a very Karen thing to do.
Exactly. Yeah, like don't ask for a refund.
I would feel like if you didn't like the movie, tough shit. Like,
yeah.
Write a review then.
Yeah, I think they were just because I looked probably very scared.
Yeah, in your scenario, I get that.
Yeah.
Somebody told you it was a romantic comedy, and it was not.
It was not. I had mean friends in junior high.
Also, the quick story, when I made you see The Strangers
Oh
with
my
me,
god.
And I feel like, so it was when we, like, I feel like it was kind of when we first started becoming
becoming
friends.
Like, yeah.
Yeah, and I was just like, do you want to see this movie? And I feel like she sucked it up because we were new friends.
Yeah.
And then she was terrified the whole time. And at the time, I really liked thrillers.
Yeah.
I feel like they gave me too much anxiety now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I sat with my knees to my chest, and I had a hoodie on, and I like put my head down and just sat with my hoodie over my head. And so I don't know if I've ever told you this, but so when Tayler and I met, we went to cosmetology school together, and I thought Tayler was really cool.
And I thought Colleen was really cool.
Did you really?
Yes. I remember being like, I love how she dresses, and I love her hair. And then we ended up, I feel like we dressed really similarly.
Yeah, like
we'd always have matching.
Like, and I always thought Tayler was really, like, dressed really cool and had cool stuff.
And it just ended up us having the same stuff.
Yeah. But, like, I wanted Tayler to think I was cool, so, like, when she says, like, I sucked it up to go see the movie, I was like, well, I really want to be this girl's friend, so, like, I'll go see the movie. But then was, like, so uncool during the
I then found out that Colleen was very afraid.
And then I used to drive. If you guys have ever seen 10 Things I Hate About You, with Julia Stiles. I think it's her car. It's one of the daughter's cars in the movie. Mm-hmm. She drives like a 1989 like boxy brown Volvo, and I had that car. And
that car was also really cool.
I loved that car. That thing was a tank, like, and I had inherited it from my sister, and then I killed it because I pressed the gas instead of the brake one time before a soccer game, and I went like straight into like the curb. Curb is the word.
Actually, I do remember that.
That was a long time ago.
Yeah, and I had like ran that thing into walls before, like
it's like me with the 4Runner.
Yeah, like they were just absolute like
we were so alike. We had similar drive. I backed up into a non-moving car before. I backed up into a trash can. It was just like that. My car was a tank too.
Yeah. But so I remember driving, and my car was old, and I did not take care of it, and like the air conditioning didn't work, or if you turned the air conditioning on, it made this like horrific like screaming noise.
So scary.
So it was just like wasn't even worth putting on, but it would just also just like randomly die. Like don't know why, but like there was nothing wrong with the battery. But so I'm driving home from hanging out with Tayler, and it's like pitch dark outside, and my car dies on the way home.
Wait, was that after the strangers?
After the strangers.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and so I'm like, oh my, like I'm in a horror movie. Somebody cut my
That is the worst.
Yeah.
That's so scary.
So that was Tayler and I's first friend.
And then after that, you're like, you know what? I really don't care if she thinks I'm cool. Like, I'm never doing that again.
Yeah.
Should have trusted the guy.
Yeah.
Not seen that movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's so funny. I always remember that. It's like, how did I talk her into that?
Well, yeah. I was just trying to impress you.
And now you're just like, well, before this, obviously, you're like, I'm not listening to that. We're already best friends for a decade.
Now I'm still trying to make her think I'm cool. She's like, you want to listen to me tell a ghost story? So I'm like, sure.
Keep staring at the ceiling. Try not to look at the computer like it's haunted. Because it has
the story's in the computer.
What's his name again? Harvey's coming out of the screen.
Stop.
Okay. Moving on.
It was the scariest one, I think, so far. For me. At least. Yeah.
I feel like that one was pretty scary. Just because of, like, the history involved.
The man floating down the hallway really is hidden.
The man with the lights.
Yeah. I don't know what, like, I
wonder if, like, what level do you have to get to where you can appear that way? Just, like, flying down the hallway with the lights going. It's like a whole show.
Like, do you think they get, like, promotions as ghosts? Like, now you're level 5 and you can float.
You can do lights and you could show yourself.
You're like, sweet.
I feel like there has to be.
Level 4 sucked.
He's a newbie ghost.
Yeah. Alright. Well, I've got something to tell you.
Ooh.
And so I'm excited for this one because, well, you're going to find out why.
Yay.
However, this one is, I'm just going to say it, I tried to practice with Kyle to tell the story well, and this one is like just one I don't know super, like I know it, but I have like Mary Vincent and like Richard Chase, like I've listened to like so many things on that, and like I did do research on this, trust me, but I'm just gonna note that this, I might have to like Google stuff.
I kind of like that though, because it's like if you haven't really listened to podcasts or anything with this story, it's kind of like this is Colleen's version.
Okay, well, I have listened to podcasts of this one.
Oh, you have?
I have.
But you're not super, like, you haven't listened to a bunch of them?
Yeah, like, this is just one that, like, I know there are more podcasts out there about it, but, like, I've only listened to, I'll just talk about it.
Okay.
I'll stop trying to, maybe this will be my best story. Why am I trying to start this off as if I'm going to do it terrible?
Amazing.
Okay.
Just go with it, girl.
Okay, sorry. Thank you. Okay, so speaking about where I heard about this, there is last podcast on the left. I mentioned them multiple times. They do a two-parter on it. There's also like a ton of stuff on YouTube. Mm-hmm. Like if you just look up this guy's name, there's a lot of stuff out there. Mm-hmm. So this is the story of Mark Twitchell.
Twitchell.
Mm-hmm. Or known as the Dexter Killer.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Wait, so is this what Dexter's based off of?
No.
Oh. Okay.
But yeah, I thought you'd be excited because I know you like Dexter.
I do.
So I did this for you.
Oh, thank you.
Do you think I'm cool yet?
Yeah, you're so cool. 5 stars.
Thank you. Okay.
10 out of 10. Go ahead. Sorry.
Okay, we can be done with the podcast now. Okay, so who is Mark Twitchell? Some background on him. Mark Twitchell was born in 1979 in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. And I asked Kyle this. I was like, why are there so many names in this thing? And he just looked at me. He's like, what do you mean? I was like, Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. Like,
wait,
what?
Edmonton,
Alberta. Like, Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. And he's like, it's like, so Edmonton is city. Alberta is the Providence / like U.S.
And they had to call it by all 3.
I guess.
Triple namer.
Yeah. Anyways, something I learned. I swear I'm a smart individual.
When you said it, I thought that entire thing was one name.
Right?
I didn't realize it was 3.
Yeah. Okay, so he's born in Edmonton, which is in Canada. And from everything that I've read, he's very, like, awkward and just kind of, like, a socially stunted person. Like, he's just kind
I love that word, socially stunted.
Socially stunted. Like, he's just not... He's not cool.
Yeah.
He's not, like...
He's not cool like you.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm real cool. So he just kind of like never, he wasn't bullied though. Like okay. That was something that for some reason they really called out. And when I say they, I noticed I said this a lot on our last recording, is when I say they, I'm
for sources.
Yeah, I'm referencing like last podcast on the left said it, or like they said it on the YouTube, but then I watched, or like in the article that I read.
Yeah,
so
that makes sense.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure. So he wasn't bullied, and again, that's like something they call out, but he was just like kind of always on the outskirts. Mm-hmm. And so he also grew up like really normal, like middle class. Like everything about this guy is like mid. Like he's just like
regular. He's a regular guy.
Like, and it's not even like regular. It's like regular in the sense of like nothing he does is outstanding. And I wouldn't never like pick on somebody who's like socially awkward or anything like that, but because he's a killer, I feel like it's we can
do that. Yeah.
Okay. So just average Joe Mark. Yeah. Mid Mark. And so he's obsessed with so take a deep breath, Colin. Okay. Mm-hmm. So Mark is very mid, but he has this like really intense, so this is why it's important to understand why like he's so average, is because he really wants to stand out. Like his biggest desire is to like be the star of his own movie. And he's obsessed with movies, specifically Star Wars. And I know a lot of people love Star Wars, but like this guy was another level. He spent hours creating fan fiction. He'd role play as a Jedi.
With himself?
Yep.
I love it.
And he wanted to be the next George Lucas. Do you know who George Lucas is?
I don't know. Which one is that?
George Lucas? Glad you asked, because Kyle said that everybody knows who George Lucas is and that I don't have to call out who he is.
Is it like a character?
No, he's the director and creator of Star Wars.
Okay, yeah, I would have no idea.
In your face, Kyle. And okay, so I mean, like, it is kind of sweet that like he loved something so much, but also he, like, again, going back, like, he didn't just want to like create these stories, but he just wanted to be like the center of attention.
Yeah,
so okay,
like he wanted recognition.
Yeah, like this average, like beyond low average guy, and all he wants is to be like a star.
Yeah,
but like nothing he does is good.
He just like role plays something that's already been created.
Oh my
like,
gosh,
come up
like,
with your own stuff.
That is such a theme with him too. Like, okay, I'll get into it.
Okay.
So fast forward, Mark is an adult. He ends up going to film school, and he just starts calling himself a filmmaker.
Oh wow.
Like, you're in film school, but he's like, now I'm a director. I'm a filmmaker.
You're like, role playing doesn't count.
Yeah, and he wasn't very good at it either.
Oh no.
So he makes a few, like while in film school, he makes a few low budget projects. None of them go anywhere, and what I've seen of his work, it's not really hard to see why.
Oh, you could see
Yeah,
it?
like you can look up his scripts, and I forget the website. I'll try and find it, and maybe we can re-add it in. But there's a site that you can go and look up like every script.
Oh,
And,
okay. I
like,
kind of want to look that up. After
Yeah,
this.
I wish I should have pulled some of his writing, because it was
Bad.
it was bad. So, like you said, like he just basically steals other people's ideas, and his scripts are just horrible. His writing is just like derivative of other people's stuff. Like some of the lines in it, it's like straight out of Saw. Like, you know what I mean? Like he just stole other
copies.
Yeah. So one thing he is really good at is lying. As he said, I'm a filmmaker, you're a dud. But so he is like this compulsive liar, and he used that to create this image of himself as like the successful director and filmmaker, artist, like all this stuff. And he keeps telling people that he's working on huge projects. At one point he starts saying that he has like all these Hollywood connections, like Jeff Goldblum.
What?
Yeah, which like if you've seen Wicked, like Jeff Goldblum is
I haven't seen it yet.
he's so good.
I'm waiting till it's on like Apple TV or something.
It's on it's on Prime.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You have to pay. I paid $30 the
Damn.
second it came out because I wanted to watch it, but I feel like I've gotten my money's worth because I've watched it.
You watch it so many times.
Yeah. But anyways, I was just like, that's like timely because he just is in like this huge movie. But anyway, so he tells people like he's connected with like Jeff Goldblum and like Justin Timberlake and all this stuff.
Justin Timberlake.
Obviously, like none of it is true. But he was very like convincing as a liar, so people did believe him for a while. But
I like this, like in his head, it was real. You know, when someone lies so much, it becomes.
Yeah, and I think he like. Yeah, like, and I think he believed it himself, or he wanted to believe it so badly that that's why it probably was more believable to other people. So for a while, people are believing him that he's successful. So now we're going to fast forward. He's also like this when it comes to his personal life, like lying. He got married to a woman named Jess, and it kind of probably looked like he was living a like perfectly normal life, loving wife. They have a daughter together. And this career that he claims was like on the verge of taking off. And if you scratched the surface, like you'd see that this was all just like a huge facade. Like
So there was no actual career.
No.
It was in his head.
He's just making it up. Like he's just lying to people.
That's crazy.
So his marriage is full of lies, and he constantly cheated on Jess. He spent more time like trying to boost his own ego than really like caring for his like family, and just basically blows them off. Jess later said that Mark was obsessed with creating this like larger than life version of himself, and he made absolutely no room for her or their daughter, and eventually she leaves him. Yeah, I feel bad for the daughter, but like I also am like, good for you, Jess. Like,
I'm glad she left.
I'm so glad she left. Like, this guy sounds like the worst.
Yes.
So then they get divorced, and Mark's life takes a kind of like sharp left into full crazy. So Mark didn't just love movies, he like lived for them and he lived in them. Like he wanted, like his life was a movie, and like it was like he was trying to like
merge the two.
Yeah, like he was trying, in his mind, movies are real life. Yeah. And it's like we all know they're not. Like things are dramatized for movies.
Yeah.
So he spent hours again like writing fan fiction, role playing, and creating these elaborate fantasies where he was the hero. And then it hits 2006 and Dexter premieres.
Oh,
and
okay.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And so if you've never seen Dexter, Dexter is a blood splatter analyst, and works for the Miami. Is it Miami?
I think so.
It's in Florida, I know for sure.
Yeah. It's been a while since I've seen it, but that sounds right.
But so he works for the Miami Police Department as a blood splatter analyst, but he is also a serial killer. Spoiler alert, but this is from 2006, so if you haven't seen it yet, like, that's...
Yeah. I mean, I feel like he's a serial killer in the first episode.
Yeah.
But he only kills bad guys.
Yeah. Like, he lives by a code, where he, like, if the people don't meet the code, then he doesn't kill them. Mm-hmm. And so it's a great show for the first, like, 3 seasons.
I don't think I actually watched it all the way through.
I know you didn't.
Yeah, because, well, somebody spoiled it for me, and then I took a break from it, and then I think I watched it up to a certain... And then it just started getting weird.
I didn't spoil it.
It wasn't you.
Okay.
It wasn't you. I remember who spoiled it. I was very mad.
No. Was it sad? No, I'm just kidding.
It's like he's in the other room right now, and I'm still mad at him. I'm just kidding. No, it was a random friend when I worked at the college.
Oh, okay.
But they thought it was funny, and I took it so seriously.
Yeah.
You don't mess with people's TV shows.
And I remember you being like pissed.
Angry.
Yeah.
I was very angry.
And you're like, and you almost like took it out on the show, I feel like.
Yeah, I feel like it was a big twist, and so it made me not want to watch it, but sorry.
Yeah. No. That's why I was excited.
I know, and I actually have like, I'll wait till you're done. Yeah.
Okay.
I'll wait.
Yeah, okay. Okay, so highly recommend Dexter. If you guys like the last 3, I think it's 6 seasons. If you guys like the last 3 seasons, then good for you, but I don't.
Not a fan.
Okay, so Dexter, Mark sees Dexter, and he is just like enthralled with him. Like, he is looking at Dexter as, again, like, this guy is taking movies and like TV shows and he's digesting them as like real life. So Dexter becomes like his hero. Like, Dexter is a real life hero to him.
Yeah.
And so he saw him as a role model, his hero. He starts idolizing Dexter Morgan, like, does not shut up about Dexter. And then Mark then starts thinking, like, what if I could actually be like Dexter? And not in the blood splatter analyst side, the serial killer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because that's a super cool job. Like,
yeah. That'd be normal.
Okay, so 2 years later, in 2008, Mark decides to act on this fantasy. He rents a garage in Edmonton. Oh, fun fact. I can't remember if it was the last podcast, guys, or if it was just like something I kept hearing on the YouTube stuff. Mm-hmm. But Edmonton is also, the nickname is Deadmonton.
Why?
I don't know. I forgot. But
it's like longer.
Yeah. I don't know.
A longer nickname.
I just thought it was kind of...
Okay, maybe Deadmonton?
Dead.
Oh, Deadmonton, like dead man?
Like Edmonton, but Deadmonton.
That makes sense if it's spelled like that. Deadman? Otherwise, I don't get it.
Okay, maybe it wasn't again. so he rents this garage and he turns it into a kill room, which, like, again, if you've seen Dexter sets up these, like, kill rooms and covers everything in plastic. And so Mark is creating his own Dexter kill room. And he probably thought it was, like, really cool. So because Mark is also a filmmaker, he directs a short film called House of Cards. And this has nothing to do with the Netflix show House of Cards. And it's basically like a murder tutorial, like how to murder. Wow. I think he's doing this in, like, homage to Dexter.
Who isn't real.
Right. But to him, he is. And I mean, I think there are some people that don't go and kill people, obviously, but, like, I think it's fine to, like, look up to the type of person, like, a TV character is. Mm-hmm. But, like, no, you're looking at me like I'm crazy. Never mind. You were like...
I was like, I was, like, trying to think of characters of shows I watch.
Like, no. No, I can't think of any.
I know, because I've been watching too much reality.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Yeah. Okay. We'll think of a character that we both like at the end of this, maybe. But pay attention to my stories. I was just thinking that. Okay, so the plot of House of Cards is about a guy who lures someone into a garage and kills them. And because Mark is a uninspired loser, and basically he's just doing an episode of Dexter. Like, this guy does not have an original thought. Mm-hmm. And so he's basically using the film, like, as a blueprint for what he's planning to do in real life, which is copy Dexter. Mm-hmm. So this is when he starts putting his plan into place. In October 2008, mm-hmm. Mark creates a fake profile on, do you remember Plenty of Fish?
Yeah.
So he creates Plenty of Fish, which is like Tinder, but
Isn't it like Christian?
Or no? Maybe.
Plenty of Fish?
I don't know. I thought it was just a dating site.
Okay, maybe it just is a dating site.
Okay. I remember I never did online dating because of things like this. Like,
I feel like also online dating didn't really, like,
take off until
we were, like, in our late 20s.
Yeah. And, like, nothing against, like, online dating, because I know people who like, have met their, like, husbands and wives off of it.
I think in this day and age it's, like,
pretty good.
Sorry, you can hear me gulping my water again. So he creates a fake profile on Plenty of Fish, pretending to be a woman named Sheena.
Sheena from Vanderpump Rules.
What if
Good as gold?
Yeah. That's what his, like, profile thing. So he uses the profile to attract 38-year-old Johnny Altinger. Altinger is probably not Altinger? That's a cute last name. Altinger. And he lures Johnny to his garage. Johnny thought he is going on a date with Sheena, but when he arrives at the garage, Mark attacks him and kills him.
Jeez.
Should have been. I'm gonna go back because I know he also he tried this with another guy, and he used a stun gun, but stun guns aren't, like, they don't just immediately stun you. Like, what's the other one?
Taser.
Tasers, like, will immediately stun you, but stun guns, like, take a second to affect the body. Yeah. And so he used a stun gun on this first guy, and it didn't affect the guy. The guy, like, got in his, like, like,
he escaped?
He escaped.
Oh, wow.
But, like, never reported this attack.
What?
Yeah. And then because when he gets back online to go, like, look at the profile that Mark had created, it's gone. And so, like, all the messages are gone, like, it's wiped. So, like, what is he gonna do? He doesn't know the guy that attacked him, like, that kind of thing. But I guess you could just say, like, it was this garage. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But sorry, I should have had more details on that. But so, yes, he attacked somebody first, but now he's going into Johnny. And he, instead of using the stun gun, so, like, now he's learned, Johnny comes to the garage, and he is standing there, and he hits him over the head with a pipe instead of, like, trying to use the stun gun.
So he's not really taking after Dexter because he's not killing bad people.
Yeah.
He's just killing
so he's
anyone.
even bad at that.
Yeah, he can't even get that right, loser.
I didn't even think about that. That's such a good point, Tayler. Okay, so I apologize. I knew I was gonna screw this one up. So he kills Johnny. So he hits him over the head with a pipe, and then he stabs him in the neck. Ugh. And then he puts Johnny's body onto a table, dismembers it, and like there are I didn't really want to go into this because it felt very like he wanted people to like talk about it.
Yeah.
Like he writes all of this down. Like he writes it in a folder on his computer called SK Stories, serial killer story. Like he's not even like he can't even think of like a fake name.
Does in Dexter
He has trophies.
but does he write
No.
about it? Okay, I might be thinking of another story, so never mind. But yeah, I remember the trophies. But wasn't there a book called like How to be a Serial Killer or something, and then the person ended up being an actual serial killer?
I don't know, but I'm gonna look that up. And
Okay,
see.
yeah,
Like,
you look at, because I remember that, but like I don't remember.
So he dismembers Johnny's body. He dumps remains of Johnny's body in a sewer, and this guy is really just not great. Because he does not do a good job of covering his tracks. Shocker! Did you really?
He just wants the recognition.
Yeah.
He doesn't care about all the
Details.
And that's what I was gonna say. Is like he wrote all of this out, and you can go and read it, and like he talks about like what it's like to like dismember the body and like all this stuff.
Yeah.
But like, again, I just feel like he's doing it for like shock value, so I don't want to,
Yeah.
So Johnny has some good friends, and they get suspicious when he didn't show up for work, and they started getting weird emails from him. Like, just were not, like, if you had started getting emails from me, you would be, like, that just felt not like me. Like
bizarre.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like, and so Mark doesn't even do a good job of, like, researching how to talk like Johnny. So Mark is sending emails to Johnny's friends from Johnny's email, and, like, saying that he's gone on, like, this spontaneous vacation. And so his friends are like, the fuck you did? And they call the police. And they quickly zero in on Mark because they know the location of the garage. And that's the last place that, like, and Johnny had also told his friends, like, he's going on this. This is the other thing that was really sad is, like, Johnny was, like, so excited for this date. Like, he was telling his friends about it, and, like, I will say last podcast on the left makes a really funny comment where, like, the dude, though, like, the friends say something like, should you be worried about this? Because it's like, the dude could not get a girl, so they're like,
oh no!
they're like, you're probably actually just gonna get murdered. Like, they make, like, a joke,
Oh my God.
and later on they're like,
Yeah, they said it much funnier in last podcast on the left, but that's why they are like number one. So anyway, so they zero in on Mark because they know this is the last place Johnny went to. Mark has rented this garage, and because Mark's a freaking idiot. Sorry. Also, don't be good at getting away with murder. What am I talking about?
We just like to rip on Mark though.
Yeah,
Mark's a moron.
He's a moron. So there's still blood in the garage. Ooh, I think I moved.
That was me.
Okay, sorry. So they find blood in the garage. Like he doesn't even like bother really to like clean it up. Which I think he attempts to like clean it up, obviously. But like if you've watched Dexter, like
He's like he made it look way easier. On
yeah,
the TV
this is
show.
really hard.
Like, he's not a real serial killer, dumbass.
Basic ass bitch Mark. So then they confiscate his laptop, and like I said, like, he wrote all of this out. They find a document. I said SK something before, but it was called SK Confessions.
Oh.
SK serial
killer.
Do you not even have like any creativity in a single bone in your body?
SK.
What should we do? Serial killer? No, it's gotta be shorter. SK.
He's like, instead of Dexter, I'm gonna call myself Mexter.
Mexter Dorgan.
Such an idiot.
That's probably how his mind worked, though.
Probably.
So in the document, he details all, like, everything. Everything is in there. Which I guess if you're dumb enough to call it SK Confessions, you're dumb enough to write all of the details in there. He tries to say that, like, this is, like, his screenplay, but they're like, no, like, you're saying, like, I'm going to murder Johnny. He's like, what a coincidence.
He's like, no, this is...
They're like, but it says, like, on this day, I'm going to murder Johnny in this garage, and then these fools are going to come in, and, like...
You're like, and Johnny is actually dead.
Yeah.
So you see how this connects. We connect the dots.
He's like, this is crazy.
He's like, that's a weird coincidence.
Freaking Mark. Okay, so he is, obviously, like, they arrest him.
Yeah.
And he's sentenced to life in prison in 2011.
Dang, that wasn't even, like, that long ago.
I know.
I mean, I know that was, like, over 10 years ago, but still, that's, like, I feel like a lot of them are in, like, the 70s.
I know.
And stuff like
Yeah. It's kind of, like, it's kind of crazy how, like, this stuff keeps happening.
Seriously, though.
Well, so that is the story of Mark Twitchell. Started off a loser, ended a loser. Yeah.
I liked that story.
Okay.
So thank you for that. But, yeah. Oh my god, what an idiot. So, can I tell you a story really quick?
Of course.
Okay. Because, like, it has to do with, like, the Dexter days. Because, I mean, like,
The Dexter
days. I watched it. I mean, it came out in 2006, you said?
2006, yeah.
Yeah. So, me and my friend would watch it every time a new episode would come out. We kind of, like, made it a thing. And, we would watch it, like, kind of late at night. And sometimes we would go to Walgreens and grab some snacks and stuff. And so, I don't know if I've ever told you this, but it was looking back, so creepy. So, first of all, we're watching a show on serial killers. And we go to Walgreens, and we're walking through the aisles. And in my peripheral, I keep seeing this guy. And he looks like he's probably, like, in his 30s, 40s, and he's, like, looking. And I was just like, ugh. Like, I noticed it. Mm-hmm. And we keep, like, walking, and then we're going to, like, the chocolate. We were, like, in the drink section, now we're going to the chocolate. Mm-hmm. I see him again, like, kind of, like, looking around the corner. And I was like, okay, this is getting weird. And, we go in, like, another aisle, and, like, we're far enough. And I was just like, do you see that guy? Like, he's, like, following us. Mm-hmm. And, she's like, I didn't notice. I'm like, yeah. And so we go to the checkout. And, like, he doesn't make it to get right behind us. But he's, like, probably behind the person behind us. Mm-hmm. And so, like, we pay, and then we're speed walking out of there. Yeah. And we're, like, running to my car. We jump in, and I lock the doors. I start reversing. As soon as I put my car in drive to turn, I see him run out of Walgreens and look.
No.
Yeah. And it gave me goosebumps right now, because I feel like he was... most likely, I don't know, he was up to something. Yeah. And this is probably what he did. Yeah. Like, he probably was, like, stalkerish, and, like,
because her house wasn't that far from the Walgreens, so like after leaving, I was so freaked out to leave because I was like, what if somehow, like, I know there's no way he followed us. I was like, what if somehow he like remembered my car, like he was looking at it, and during that time, I mean, like, early 2000s or whatever, it's not like we have like iPhones like we do today to take a clear picture, but like it was so scary. Like,
no, that's so, and like, good for you for like being aware of, because like I know in like Arizona, like they talk about this a lot because of like the trafficking and stuff. And it's like so many stories. I see so many women like post on Facebook, and it's like, I was at Target and like this person like was following me, and like, you know, like be aware kind of thing. And like there are people though that like, I mean, it sucks as like women that we have to be this way, but like just be aware of your surroundings. And like, I love on, I'm sorry, I'm gonna always quote them, but on My Favorite Murder, they always talk about like fuck politeness. Like, it is if you are uncomfortable, you don't have to make that other person comfortable.
Yeah, and I feel like I'm always really aware of my surroundings. One, because I get really annoyed when people stare at me. Yeah. So I feel like I'm always like conscious of that. Like, what are you looking at?
You're like, what?
But he had a creepy vibe, and I almost didn't want to draw attention to it, that I was like, I saw him, like, because I kind of wanted to see, like, what would follow, and, like, after the second aisle, honestly, I already knew. I was like, he's following us, but, yeah. So, creepy story.
That is super creepy.
Yeah, I always think about it, and I was just like, ugh. Who knows what that guy's backstory was? Yeah. But, yeah. Very creepy. Fits the description of a creeper too. I like still remember what he looks like. Yeah. But anyway, that was a really good story.
Thanks. I know at the beginning I set myself up for, I feel like I got through it okay.
I was like waiting to see what happened. Okay. I really liked it, and I feel like I kind of interrupted you a lot. I know we talk about this. We're all like, did I interrupt you? We're still new to this. So. Yeah.
Bear with us. Yeah. But thank you, because I was nervous about this one for
Yeah, no, I loved it. I feel like it opened up a good conversation too.
Yeah. And now we can go watch Dexter. Yeesh. And be like, see how it's done.
I hope he's just sitting in jail watching Dexter and be like, damn it.
I hope they don't let him watch TV in jail.
Yeah, honestly, I hope he's in like a dark room with no windows.
He's like, but I'm a filmmaker.
He's like, yeah, I can just see him telling the other like cellmates. He's like, yeah, I did movies with, what's the name again? Goldblum?
Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah.
They're like, okay.
They're like, okay, crazy.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, I think this was a long one.
I think so too. I
feel like that's a good one.
Oh my god, I just almost thought I forgot recording.
Oh.
I didn't though, I didn't.
God, that would have been...
Who put me in charge of this?
Well, anyway, if you guys hung till now, thank you.
Oh, I made an email.
Oh, you made an email?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
This episode is dedicated to... Okay, so just so you know, Tayler, like, when I walk through the door, Tayler has wine and water and, like, then it's like, do you want
I just love hosting.
She'll be like, do you want a snack? Like, she's created this, like, little, like, this whole, like, cozy area for us to podcast, and I do nothing. And so...
Colleen's the brains. No. She acts like she does nothing, but honestly, I feel like this is the least that I can do.
But, so I wanted to try and, like, do something for you. So we can talk about the email. I forget what it is. I will pull it up and we can make sure we add it into the next episode or go back and add it to the other ones.
Well, we can also, obviously right now when people are listening, it's going to be in the future. True. We're going to have it in the description.
Fair.
So again, if you have scary stories or even encounters like the one I kind of just described at the end here, go ahead and send it to our email, and if we get enough, we'll share Well, maybe we'll have like a bonus episode or something
Yeah.
where we just do stories. I think that'd be really fun.
Hopefully we get some. We want to hear them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, thanks for listening.
Later.